Of course, doing those Easter egg hunts tomorrow morning, and there will be a window where that could be a little dicey.
Yeah, I think anything after 9 o'clock in the Austin Metro, fair game, some sunshine during the afternoon, so it shouldn't affect the festivals. It's those morning drives to services, masses, events, and plans, seeing family, things like that, where you may have to have the windshield wipers on and drive slow and safe, of course, in some storms. I want to paint a picture of what's happening right now as we do have farther out west. Look at the moisture that's just erupting out towards St. Angelo and Abilene and west of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So some of these oranges and reds, that's just where the storms are really firing off over there. Let me show you satellite and radar how that translates. We do have a flash flooding and tornado that's west of Fort Worth, severe thunderstorm warnings for Abilene, St. Angelo, and then there's the cold front that's going to slowly move toward our area in the coming few hours. Now zooming on in, just a few light tiny showers. This is radar feedback here from Georgetown down to Austin, but right now we're relatively dry for the most part, just a few light sprinkles. Rain chances will slowly pick up between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. for most of us, and then dropping off substantially by around 1, 2, 3 o'clock. Our rain chance goes down to 0. So for context there, just a complete 180 from how we're going to start the day. Looking at the specific severe weather threats, this is a new update since our 6 o'clock show. The elevated for tornado actually extended farther out west, so that dropped off there. In terms of hail, we still have that hatched, which means up to egg size as possible for San Saba and Mason, a little bit of Gillespie there. But again, Austin and East, this isn't really going to be that big of a deal severe weather-wise. At least that's what we're thinking as of right now. Walking you through the rest of the overnight hours tonight, here comes the line around 4 a.m. from San Saba down to Gillespie. Some of these reds and pinks that represent some hail embedded in this line. By around 6:30 a.m. it begins to weaken slightly, and then once it reaches the Austin Metro, look at that. Look how quickly that fizzles on out. Just a few light showers sticking around 8, 9, 10 o'clock. We're clearing out toward Burnett, Lampasas, Llano, and San Saba, and then by around 12 o'clock, probably in the Austin area, see some peaks of sunshine out and about when you step outside. In terms of rainfall, I brought back the 1 to 2 inches to Mason and San Saba, and then 1/4 of an inch to 1 inch for the Hill Country, about 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch for Austin East, and then less than 1/10 of an inch once you get down to LaGrange. So it's not going to be a big rain event just because the line's going to be moving so fastly. If the line took its time and slowly moved through, we had a few supercells that stalled out, of course we would get more rain, but because it's a fast-moving linear structure, these types of events don't really accumulate too much rain. Here's your Easter forecast, 7 a.m., 50% rain chance, back down to 0 by 4 p.m. It's going to be a gorgeous late afternoon, 79 for a high temperature. We'll keep the 80s trend for the time being, 87 on Monday and Tuesday, and then another round of some storms and showers may bring down highs on Wednesday to 82. And then we're going to stick to that scattered category. We're now in this new rainy pattern that's pretty typical for Central Texas standards, where every day we could get some downpours and thunder. Not a lot of sunshine. I think Monday's the exception for that. Here's your KXAN first warning weather, 7-day forecast. Front moves through, 70% rain chance tonight, 40% tomorrow morning. 0 on Monday, and then scattered showers continue with high temperatures in the 80s. Again, make sure you download the KXAN First Warning Weather app if you live in the Hill Country for severe weather alerts.